I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this episode, we're talking about a very important topic that doesn't get discussed too much, STIs.
So keep watching.
So we really haven't done a video about STIs, STDs, however you want.
No, we haven't.
It's one of those topics that is a very common question, and people do wonder about it, but it just is one of those things that just isn't talked about too often.
I feel like we've had a lot of new people coming up to us at the club recently and asking us, and I feel like it's always kind of been like a hush hush. What do you do? How do you do? Like, and they want to know, but it's always just like nobody feels like they can actually have a conversation about this.
Right.
And this has actually been on my mind a lot lately because I feel like we are sexual beings. This is our hobby. This is something we love to do. We don't want to give it up.
Right.
So why don't we normalize this? Talking about it. Why is it so hush hush? Why is everybody so embarrassed about it? Why does nobody talk to people about it? Like I just feel like we need to normalize it being a part of this whole thing so that people feel more comfortable and confident going to their doctor, doing the things that they need to do so that they're not hiding.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. Well, I think when it comes down to it, it's up to the individual as far as how much they want to talk about it.
Of course, with everything.
I think that some people would say that you should bring it up with every new partner. And, before you do anything, hey, I just got screened. Hey, I just did this. Some people might even ask for paperwork that says so. We haven't run into that.
No.
In fact, what we have run into over the years is really, it's just not talked about.
Yeah.
And that's fine because there's the assumption that, if there was an issue, that person should be doing something about that. We've run into, you're right, we've had a lot of people asking about it recently out of kind of nowhere.
Yeah.
We had some friends of ours that just came up to us, and the woman recently got diagnosed with HPV, and she was very upset about it because she thought she was done with the lifestyle. She thought this was the end. No one is ever going to want to play with me again. And then there were conversations with that person's husband about how much they should tell people, how much they should not tell people. Are they going to get blackballed from the lifestyle because of her having HPV? And honestly, from so many of the conversations I've had over the years, that couldn't be further from the truth. First of all, there could be people that just don't mind at all, that are just kind of like, you know what, this is a risky world that we're living in anyway, and it's up to the person to on the receiving end. If I meet a woman and the woman says to me, oh, I have this, then it's my decision whether I want to play with her or not.
Right.
I could say no thank you because of that reason, and I don't need to expressly say that's the reason, or I'm just not, or maybe I would, or I could be perfectly fine going, okay, well, the world is a risky place, and I really want to do this thing, and assuming everybody was comfortable, obviously, from our relationship and all that kind of stuff, that if that's the way that it went, that's fine. Some people would be absolutely adamant against playing with someone like that, and that's also their decision to do that. But it's up to the person who has that issue, or who was tested positive for something, to bring it up to people.
Right.
I have seen, for example, on whether it's on Reddit or in a Facebook group or something like that, where someone will bring this up. Hey, my husband and I have this thing. What do we do? Should we just never play with anyone? And some people will put on their profiles on one of the websites or whatever, hey, we have this.
Right.
And that gives the option to the receiving end of that of, do I want to play with them or not? And some people only want to play with people that might have the same thing going on. Other people would be like, I don't care, I'll gladly play with them anyway. Other people would be, no thank you. And that's all fine. But it kind of boils down to the fact that, like we talk about all the time, there are so many people in the lifestyle that there would never be a time where you would be completely like, no, I don't want to do this. That being said, when it came to the situation with that woman, I said, as far as I've ever heard from other women with the same HPV situation, which is super common inside the lifestyle, outside the lifestyle, If you ever shared a can of Coke with somebody when you were a kid, you might very well have that. It's that common. Oftentimes, I will talk to women that will say, I will not play when I'm having an outbreak.
Right.
And that's the time where I just kind of want to be alone and left alone and with, any, medications or whatever might be going on. And then after that point and after a time, whatever the doctors say, that they are okay to do these things because things don't spread as readily in other times of the month.
Yeah. Well, and I would say, for most people, anyways, when you're having an outbreak of anything, you're not really going to want to play. You're not feeling it. I mean, if you even a UTI or like BV, bacterial vaginosis, which is super common, you're taking your antibiotics, you can't drink, you don't want to have sex, or if you're taking the ones that you put up in the what do they call
places?
The places, your papaya.
Your papaya.
If you're putting stuff up in your papaya, you don't want other stuff up in your papaya. So, it's funny because we've always said that the lifestyle is our hobby.
Yeah.
We don't play tennis, we fuck other people's spouses. It is a risky hobby, as you said.
Sure, yeah.
When you play tennis, you are also running the risk of spraining your ankle.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole elbow dedicated to tennis.
Right. So you get your tennis elbow or your sprained ankle, you go to the doctor, you get a pill, you wrap your ankle, you ice it, you take a week off. Well, you know what? You get BV or something, you go to the doctor, you get tested, you get your pill, you take a week or two off. Nothing wrong with that. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've gotten BV before.
Mm-hmm.
I get it like all the time, and I think it just probably for me it has to do with like the condoms.
Guys, not all the time.
Not all the time. Oh my gosh. More than I did before I was in the lifestyle.
There you go.
I've had it a few times.
Okay.
And like you don't want to play. You don't like you want to take your pill for a while, and then you want to just like lay around in your sweats and enjoy your husband's company, but not in that way. And then you're like, and then once you're cleared, you're good. Like, and then, it just take care of yourself at that time.
So we were talking to a couple that was brand new to the lifestyle, and they come from the polyamorous world. Okay, they've been polyamorous for quite some time, and oftentimes we've seen, at least in the Washington area, that the polyamorous crowd is much more in tune with sharing STI information because oftentimes there isn't condom use, and you also have these polycules, numerous people that are connected in different ways without protection as well. And so, there's much more apt for somebody to get something and share it to lots of other people that way. And so oftentimes, and I've talked to many groups, couples groups, whatever, polycules, that say, when a new person joins a relationship in that polycule where they're going to be attached to everyone else that way, that oftentimes they will demand a piece of paper, that actually says, I just got tested. These are all the things that I tested negative for. However, the tests aren't perfect.
Right.
Tests also can take some time in the sense of, I got tested last week, but last night I was with somebody. So, did I catch something then?
Right.
Those are the things that are just part of the risk of this lifestyle that we're in.
Which is why you should get tested regularly, and you should probably do it opposite your partner, so that you're just covering all your bases, and ask for a full panel. That's something that I'm learning that, through our experience, is that if you just say I need STI testing, they're going to just do the bare minimum, and you need to be honest and open with your caregiver. And you don't have to give them all the information, but ask for that full panel, get that full panel so you know that everything is covered, so that everything is looked at.
And unfortunately, when it comes to HPV specifically, and I'm not a doctor, she's not a doctor, take that with a grain of salt, but unfortunately that happens to be one of those STIs that you hear different things literally from different doctors. As a guy, like some doctors will be like, I'm not going to test you because it will either be wrong or it will say false positive, or you shouldn't even have that test done. But then the next guy will say, yes, absolutely, we can do it. And I've actually run into that myself, where doctors will be like, don't bother taking that test. And I'm like, but I have numerous people that I'm having sex with. Yeah, but that's going to come out wrong. And then the next time that I go to a different doctor, 6 months later, then suddenly He'll say, yeah, absolutely. So that, unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that one. It's just one of those that I've just found as kind of the risk of the world that we live in, but they all are.
Yeah.
But at least, this is absolutely how I look at it, and maybe that's why the lifestyle is so much bigger now than it was like in the 70s and 80s as the introduction to AIDS and all that came into be, where people were afraid to have sex with other people, that we live in a world now where there's a pill.
Yeah.
For whatever you have, there's a pill for that. And that makes it, this isn't as scary as it needs to be. But, to each his own. If someone is like, I don't want to do anything with anybody, then this probably is not the hobby for you, honestly.
Probably.
Because you just don't know. You just don't know. If you have a new play partner, or, and you ask them, are they being honest? Are they, all of those factors.
They're just our risks within this lifestyle.
They're just our risks in this lifestyle, yeah.
But I have to say, if someone does come up to you and tells you that they're struggling with this STI, and be grateful that they were honest with you, as opposed to just like not saying something, and don't shun them, don't talk about them, don't tell everybody else that they have it, don't talk behind their back. Be happy that they were being open and honest with you, but it's still their personal space, it's still their personal life, and talking about it behind their back and telling everybody else about it's probably not the nicest thing to do.
Yeah. No, that's an individual thing.
And then when they tell you, don't treat them like they're disgusting. If they're like, by the way, I'm struggling with this, don't be like, ew, gross, I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah, no, it was interesting because after this woman had brought this up to my attention, and she said this to me, and how bad she felt of just about like ever playing again with anybody, and I said, some people just aren't gonna mind at all. And I also told her some people will.
Yeah.
But she was so thankful to hear that it's not like you have, what's the one that they used to go, leprosy. How do you know? Yeah, it's not like you have leprosy or something like that. Where you shouldn't be around other people. People will still treat you the same because and is awesome. It's assuming you have a cool personality, they're going to treat you as awesome as they did before, because it's really, really not that big of a deal. How many people do we know that have something? I have no idea. No idea. Whether it's a high number, a low number, or whatever, it honestly really doesn't matter. You be as safe as you feel comfortable being safe with, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And Sapphire has a rule here about condom use.
Right.
It's you put a condom on. It's not even a question unless you have expressed consent from the person that you're going to be playing with, as in, I don't want to wear a condom. And that's just the way people are in the lifestyle. That there's only so much protection and safety that you can have. Sometimes people will ask when they're brand new, well, like, what about dental dams? Are dental dams used? I've never seen one used in the lifestyle. No. I've never heard of one used in the lifestyle. I'm sure there's somebody who must have at one point. I don't know. But it's like, okay, so you're okay kissing someone, but you're not okay having your mouth on their junk. It's like, no. Okay, yeah, but to each his own. Everybody has their own rules, and everybody has their own rules and that type of stuff. But there is just a level of inherent risk just doing this type of thing. And
you know what? I think too, if you have to take baby steps, if you're brand new to the lifestyle, and one thing you don't want to do because you feel like it might give you more risks or whatever, there's some people who say that they don't kiss, like maybe they're concerned about that risk.
Sure. Well, now you ran into an issue once, years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a lover message me, and we had played somewhat recently, and he found out that he had gonorrhea. Okay. And so he called me, which was weird because he never called me.
And how did he feel when he called you?
He was so nervous to talk to me. He felt gross and just scared to talk to me, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks for the information. Like, I was like, I haven't had any problems, but I'm going to go get tested today, and I'll let you know how it goes. And I was grateful to him for bringing it up and letting me know so that I could go get tested because, I had you at home and that kind of stuff. And so, it was great. I'm sure it was really uncomfortable for him, but I was just super supportive, and I went and got tested that day, and they gave me a shot as just in case, just a precaution. And test came back negative anyway, so I didn't have to worry about it. But I didn't make him feel bad in any way because I was like, I honestly wasn't too concerned about it anyways. Right. So it just be nice to people, be kind, and We just need more kindness in the world.
That's right. And knock on wood, knock on my wood. We've never had anything, so which is good. But
don't put that out there.
Yeah, right. sorry, universe. But we do know a lot of people that have run into different issues, like the one you just brought up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those things that people can.
Yeah.
So that's the nature of this hobby that we're doing, and at least from our perspective, it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Take whatever level of comfortable steps you need to take
Yeah.
to feel comfortable in the lifestyle. But of course that goes across the board on everything outside of STIs. How comfortable do you feel with playing with other people? How
Right.
comfortable do you feel with kissing? How comfortable do you feel with going off with someone else? Those are inherent risks of the lifestyle. There's a lot of them, which is also why you find, or why I find, a lot of people in the lifestyle tend to be more risk takers in life, which is why there's why there's more business owners and more people that are just jumping off buildings with parachutes and I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. There's inherent risk in this.
That's why we're all so cool.
That's why we're all so cool, because we're jumping off of buildings with parachutes, apparently.
We're leaving to go do that now.
That's right. So while we're doing that, why don't you go to www.clubsapphire.net, check out all the amazing upcoming events that are happening at Club Sapphire. It's the place to be. If you haven't been here before, we'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you. If you come and you see us here, please come over and say hi. We're cool. We're awesome, and
we'll keep telling you that until you believe it.
Until you believe it. It's true. We do have people that come up to us and tell us we're cool. We're like, okay, good. The subliminal messages are going to you now. You want to have sex with Matt. All right. It's good we ended on such a serious note.
I know, right?
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Nope. Just check out the website for all the upcoming events, like you said, and keep an eye out for all the Bianca Bombshell performances. We're performing. There's a couple of us that perform once a month for birthdays. So if you have a birthday coming up, you can let us know, and you can come sit in the chair and be a part of our performance. You don't have to do anything, just sit there.
Or take a pole class.
Or take a pole class,
That's
always fun. And I've added more pole classes, so check out the calendar because there's a couple a month now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.